As the Joe Biden administration makes countering China its primary foreign policy priority, it has drastically increased military activities in the East and South China Seas and escalated efforts to create a power bloc to maintain American hegemony in the region. Chief of the Main Directorate of the Russian General Staff, GRU, Military Intelligence Agency, Igor Kostyukov, reported that the United States has created a 400,000-strong force for the Asia-Pacific to target China. Speaking in Moscow at a conference on international security on June 23, Kostyukov said Washington was demonstrating that it was not ready to engage in equal dialogue, and sought to pull India into a NATO-style alliance to dominate the region and isolate Russia and China. He stated to this effect, "The United States, obsessed with the goal of global domination, is demonstrating its unwillingness to engage in equal dialogue. U.S. doctrinal documents enshrine the methods for building relations with other countries from a position of strength." According to Kostyukov, the Pentagon plans to create a task force in the Pacific specifically aimed at containing China in South and East Asia by 2024 and will set up 2 brigades for cyber operations by 2028. Hypersonic missiles will also be deployed to the region by that time. China became the world's largest economy in 2017 and has been the primary focus of American military attention since 2010 when the Barack Obama administration launched the Pivot to Asia initiative. China has notably outspent the U.S. in new military acquisitions from 2020, and its defense sector is able to provide new armaments at a small fraction of the cost in part due to its far larger industrial base. China's J-20 stealth fighter, for example, has research of development cost before entering service of just $4.5 billion, while its lighter America rival the F-35, which has similar technological features, cost approximately $55 billion to develop. This discrepancy has forced the U.S. to rely on building coalitions to try to maintain a balance of power in the region that favors American and Western interests. The majority of countries in the region, however, attribute much more importance to their trading relations with China than with the U.S., and have been reluctant to enter into an anti-Chinese partnership despite considerable Western pressure. Others such as Cambodia, North Korea and Russia are much more likely to align against the U.S. if forced to choose. Russia and China make war gaming fashionable again in the West. Even as Russia massed over 100,000 troops on Ukraine's borders in April, Andriy Zagorodnyk felt sure President Vladimir Putin wouldn't go to war. The former defense minister in Kiev, who'd also spent years on projects to modernize Ukraine's military, reasoned that Putin knew an invasion would be no walk in the park for Russia this time. "Our task has been to make sure we can inflict unacceptable damage, a damage level so high that they will be demotivated to advance," Zagorodnyk said in a video interview from the Ukrainian capital. That was a bold bet, though Ukraine had made dramatic improvements to its armed forces since a few thousand Russian troops, in uniforms with no identifiable markings, annexed Crimea without firing a shot in 2014. It could potentially have been catastrophically wrong. Whatever Putin's motives for the recent show of force, some of the additional troops have since pulled back, alongside tit-for-tat accusations with the UK over a British destroyer transit of Ukrainian waters, comparing military capabilities as difficult and becoming even more so. After a brief post-Cold War interlude in which the US and its North Atlantic Treaty Organization partners had no serious peer competitors, now they do. Many common measures of military strength are misleading, based on defense spending alone. For example, Spain should be stronger than Turkey, NATO's second-largest military power after the US. Saudi Arabia should be easily able to swat Iran. And Britain could go toe-to-toe in any conflict with Russia. None of the above is the case. But much more than a top-line number goes into how effective military is. Refining budget data, weighing weaponry for age and effectiveness, and accounting for intangibles such as morale, doctrine, training and geography are just some of the factors at play.